And welcome back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. Today's video just we look at what Celtic need to do in the next couple of days in preparation for the Hibs match, which is going to be quite a pivotal match, I think, for turning around Celtic's fortunes at this time of the season. I've also been having a wee look at a variety of different Celtic fan sites on the internet and YouTube, and a lot of message boards, such as on the BBC, etc., regarding what Celtic fans are feeling at the moment, as well as really enjoying reading all your own comments and opinions in the comment section of the various videos we put out recently on the channel. Pretty clear from a lot of the message boards of true Celtic fans, there is a lot of dissatisfaction with Brendan Rodgers primarily. I myself feel that Rodgers is very much to blame for the way Celtic are at the moment. He came in to a team that had just won the treble, having won 2 trophies the season before, which at the start of the 21-22 season was very disorganised, very demoralised, and very quickly turned things around, kept things stable, slowly progressing towards Christmas, and in the second half of the 21-22 season made a massive difference, driving Celtic to the title, overcoming a similar sort of lead that Rangers had at that point, which was very similar to the lead that we had just a couple of months ago, which is why I'm very confident, or rather very hopeful rather than very confident, that Celtic can turn things around in the second half of the season, win the double. But it is really going to require Rodgers putting his hand up, taking the blame, realising that he's making a lot of mistakes. He's got the team nervous, lacking confidence, lack of energy, lack of drive to get on with winning the game. And that's been one of the disappointing things for me, is that Celtic are fading away in the second half of so many games. They have lost their ability to turn things around, or having got on top, pushing forward and forward and forward, and really ramming home their advantage. We've had the advantage in so many games this season. On a few occasions we've driven on and we've had nice convincing wins, but too often we've played well in the first half and then lost it in the second half, or risked losing it in the second half with under par performances. We were way under par against Aberdeen at the weekend on Saturday. We were under par against Ross County the previous league match. We were under par against Hearts. We blew a perfectly good chance of winning a game against Kilmarnock, where Derek McInnes outmanaged Brendan Rodgers. We ended up losing that game 2-1. We blew the game against Hearts. Again, Rodgers being outmanaged by his opponent. And Rodgers should not be getting outthought, outmanaged by other managers, given his experience and given the resources he's got, and also the players that he's got that he can bring on to change things. And also he's got a lot of players in his squad and in his first choice 11 who are very flexible, able to play a lot of different tactics, formations, setups. He just is not using the players to their best abilities, or using their flexibility and versatility to our best abilities. Now, I was surprised there are an awful lot of YouTube fan sites that seem to be giving Rodgers no blame at all, putting all the blame on the players and the board. And I'm surprised how many people are so massively loyal to Rodgers, which can only be based on his 2 and a bit good seasons with us the first time around. For me, Rodgers is a slightly above average manager. I wouldn't put him into the good, great, or excellent category. To be fair, I wouldn't put him in the poor category, but that I think he's average or slightly above average. And that's based on the fact that he inherited a very good team and a very good squad at Liverpool, had one good season there, blew the title that season, and then Liverpool went downhill under his management. He took over a good team, a good squad at Leicester, maintained them at roughly the same kind of level. A couple of good seasons with Leicester in terms of what Leicester were hoping for. And then just as that team, that squad is starting to get a wee bit older, needing changed and freshened up, Rodgers' inability to manage players, change teams to fit what he's got available was so evident, and they fell away. And he had a couple of bad seasons with Leicester, ending in relegation. And we have to remember he was sacked by Liverpool and sacked by Leicester, and that is never a good thing. If a manager is being sacked because of the team going downhill. Don't think there's any way the board are going to sack Brendan Rodgers at this time. For me, don't really feel his heart's fully in it at the moment. I think he came back to Celtic thinking, I'll get a season or 2 seasons at Celtic. I'll win 5, 6 trophies out of 6. That'll get me back in the A-League of managers, get me my reputation back that was ruined by being sacked at Leicester, and I'll get back into the Premiership at a mid-table or above quality team, or I'll get a nice gig managing for many, many millions in Saudi Arabia. I don't think he thought he was going to have to come back to Celtic and have to manage the team that hard. I think he thought it was easy street coming back, and I think also he came back determined to prove that his way of playing football was right and that Angie's way of playing football was wrong. And it's very clear we've got a lot of square pegs and round holes. We're playing plodding, pedestrian, slow football, and we're playing a style of football that lets other teams know how we're going to play and also allows other teams time to get themselves set up at the back. We're never pushing forward. We're never taking quick free kicks, quick corners, quick throw-ins. We're always they're slowly. And then the other team get their banks of 3, their low block. They put their 3 midfielders in front of their back 6, and Celtic don't have a clue to how to get through that, and that's all down to Rodgers. Doesn't change his tactics, doesn't change his formations, never responds to what the other team's doing on the pitch, never exploits another team's weaknesses, never exploits our strengths against their weaknesses, or works out how to negate another team's strengths. It's very, very predictable, very, very regimented, and Rodgers does need to put his hand up, take the blame, rather than pushing it all onto other people. Now, it was reassuring that a lot of you share those opinions on the site, on this channel, and also a lot of the message boards, a lot of the true Celtic fans, rather than the ones who are keen on a media career through the various internet sites and YouTube sites. A lot of the true Celtic. For that reason, I also thought it might be interesting to pop a little poll on the in the community section, just how you would rate Rodgers as a manager, with the options of excellent stroke elite, great, good, average, and poor. For me, myself, I would go average above average, but would be delighted to see how you feel yourself. And as always, there's the wee comment section to go with that poll if you want to expand on your thoughts and why you went for one level or the other. Now, moving into the game on Wednesday, I'll come back to that in the next couple of days as the things become more and more apparent as to whether Daizen Maeda will be back fit and able to play on Wednesday, as that does slightly change the options for Wednesday. No word yet on whether Alistair Johnston's groin problem that seemed to be a problem for him late in the game against Aberdeen. No confirmation as to whether that's going to be an issue that keeps him out of the game for a week or two. As things stand, it does not look like CCV, Iwata, or Taylor will be fit to come back, and obviously Hitate's out for a good 6-8 weeks, and so we do have a number of good players out at the moment, with the possibility that Alistair Johnson may be joining them. Uncertain how he's going to rock up into training today and tomorrow prior to Wednesday. So, very obvious things that Rodgers is going to need to look to do in the next couple of days is get the confidence in the team back, look to see how he can actually get the team playing better, get the confidence to finish off our attacks much better, because we're wasting so much pressure and so many good chances. And we do need to look at how we're going to get a proper, good defensive combination amongst the available centre backs, where the lack of pace of Navrocki and Scales isn't a weakness for us. And we also need to make some way of solving the left back position, be it we get rid of the left back and go for a back three, be it we move Scales across and bring in Welsh or Lagerbielka beside Navrocki, or maybe we use Ralston out of position on the left, because at least he can defend on that side and give us some solidity down that side. We do need to look at maximising O'Reilly and McGregor's undoubted great skills, and we'll need to best work out how to use our wide players, be it Abada, Kuhn and Palmer, none of whom have got particular good levels of pace to beat players out down the side. They're all three are best at the moment cutting in towards the box, be it to cross or shoot or go for goal. So we do need to work out the best way to use them. And I think one of the biggest things we need to do is work out how to get Kyogo into a bit of space where he's not being crowded out in a congested box or crowded out by big defenders. We need to get him able to be on the last shoulder of the defender, the shoulder of the last defender rather, and getting himself into the box in space to shoot for goal. It worked well in the 2 games against Rangers, getting him into that amount of space. And we need to work out a way to do the same against a team that's flooding the defensive zones and playing the low block tactics. Rodgers has shown this season no way of changing his style of play. We're very predictable, very slow, very pedestrian. Tons of lateral passes and passes going backwards, not forwards. And we need to get back on the front foot, keeping the other team under pressure, not letting them out of the defensive zone, not letting the pressure drop, and taking the chances. So we do have a number of problems to solve. I think the players are more than good enough and more than versatile to do that in the second half of the season, but Rodgers does need a change of attitude. So we'll finish things off there. Not much news of things around Celtic at the moment, so we'll finish things off there. We'd be delighted to see what you feel yourself in the online poll regarding how you grade Rodgers, and any wee added comments to go with that poll or to go with this video would be greatly appreciated and valued, and I'll respond to those as best I can in the comment section, replies, or in tomorrow and Wednesday's video. Obviously, if any news does crop up in terms of player fitness or any other stories regarding new contracts, such as for Taylor and Vata and Hart, etc., I will update on those as well. So for today, thanks for listening, thanks for watching. Anyone new to the channel who enjoyed this video or has had a wee look at the other videos, do feel free to click that subscribe button. Do have a wee go at the in the community section, the poll and today's trivia question. Chat again tomorrow, and so until then, goodbye and hail, hail.